So, welcome to another video here on Monday, and today we are doing something brand new. I will go with you through Reddit. I feel like that Reddit becomes in the financial world more and more important. You get the opinions and the flow of retail investors that are nowadays not to underestimate, in my personal opinion. We have seen what happened to GameStop. We have seen what happened to AMC. So those retail investors has huge power combined with the Robinhood free trading and the whole gamification or the trading from your smartphone makes it happen that this part of the investor community is very, very important. Okay, so I will show you how I look into things. I will comment things, and without further ado, make sure to like this video so we get 500 likes, and smash the subscribe button so you will be informed for every brand new video. We are just a couple of days before the earnings, and I cannot wait to share with you my opinions about the earnings. So let's go. So diving right into it, you can see here, I didn't saw it before, okay? So this is my kind of live reaction to the sometimes ridiculous post, but sometimes a very, very interesting post. Also to understand what is happening to the retail mind out there, okay? And obviously, you know, who don't come for the comments on the Reddit, I don't know what you're doing because you're missing out a lot. Okay, so let's dive in. So here's, for example, a post directly the second. I love Virgin Galactic. I truly think they are destined for great things, but I can't shake that I have zero faith the stock won't just crash straight back to 30 if August 5th goes well. So just for explanation, the 5th of August is the earnings, and everybody hopes that there is some big announcement that moves the stock to a higher place. On the other side, now this person, he's saying, you know, I am afraid that the stock goes down after that anyway. So that's an interesting thing, because in the end of the day, we are in such an early stage without, or basically without revenue, just the high entry barrier for the business, that for sure there's just a niche type of investors that are interested into this company right now, okay? And I understand when this happened a couple of times already, you know, this volatility, you know, from 7 to 37, back to 14, from 14 to 30, back to 14, from 14 to 55 or 60, and so on and so forth. Then you have this, okay, you know, it goes up, it will go down again. I understand that, and it can happen. It happened with major businesses out there, with major stocks, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, everyone went through that in the very early stage, okay? But yeah, so he's thinking this is happening, and I agree with that. I mean, you know, it's very, very important to understand that it can be so volatile. Let's see what people are saying. So Stefano Dozelli, who's, you know, here you can see that this is one of the most upvoted comment here, says sometimes it might be better just to take profits and then buy back later at lower price. If this is possible in the time that other people hold throughout all the up and downs, refusing to sell, there might be the opportunity to buy multiple times at similar prices, like it happened with VG. And there's someone who is saying there's 3 problems with this strategy: knowing when it's at the top in real time, not the high side, knowing when it's a bottom, and taxes. And I totally agree with that, okay? If you know me, if you might already in my masterclass, if not, there's 35% with the code SPACE35 with the link in the description. You are aware and educated that you cannot time the market. Just go back, okay? Just go back when the stock went to 45, 55, just when the commercial license was issued. What was your thought back then? It was not like, oh, it could be a top, let's sell. It was rather the other side, the more greed side of you saying, well, there's still the flight of Richard Branson, which will be a huge spectacle, which could push the stock even to 100 or even 150. Okay, that was the main thought in your brain. Not that you want to secure the profits. Okay, so remember always that in hindsight, it's always to say, oh, I should have sold at 55 and now bought back at 29, 28, right? That would be perfect, right? You would almost double your stocks, but that will not happen. Okay, I had multiple experiences where I lost 5 digits dollar amounts because I thought, well, Tesla went up 20% today. Tomorrow they are not going up further, but the next day they went up 10%, and the next day they went up 5%. I had to buy back because it went further and further. And since then, and also analyzing the past of the stock market, you just cannot time the market. Okay, so I believe that just use the opportunities when it's go down to just load the boat. It always worked. This is a strategy that works 100% if the stock goes up. If the stock goes up, then you might have 1 or 2 right decisions by selling at the right time out of 20. But if you just buy when it dips, just buy more and more and more, or just regularly, you for sure will be in the green in a long period of time. Okay, so with that said, let's go to the next one. So investing in space, be like, I can't stop buying the dip. Yeah, that's the funny part of let's say Reddit, that there's always some kind of interesting and funny things. Okay, I have decided to vote with board. Shamas Palihapite, don't let me down. Okay, so here's a picture where as a shareholder you have the right to vote, and here's a little bit about the company and so on. So he's voting for the board and the absolute recommendation of the board. So just to understanding, so there's the annual meetings and they are talking about things, and also there might be some interesting information. So let us see, is there any date? I think it was the 25th of August. Okay, 25th of August could be also a big day for space. Maybe they announce something interesting. Definitely they vote about a couple of things. Nothing groundbreakings in my personal opinion. Okay, so here are the past earnings presentation slides with all references to fleet expansion circled for your convenience. And next week I expect them to deliver their detailed plans for it. Okay, this is a good point here. I really expect the same, because it's something that was spoken about every single time in the presentations. And I said, this is a big point in the Q2. If you haven't watched this video, check on my channel. There is just 3-4 videos ago, Q2 earnings. Very, very important to watch this video in my personal opinion. Okay. So then Richard Branson Instagram, spaces for all humanity, which is why we are giving you the chance to win 2 seats on one of our first flights into space. Okay. Seems like a lot of people betting on a bad earnings. Okay. So here you have a little bit of options play, which is also interesting because people are observing what's going on the option market. And on the option market is always like a short-term decisions. You see what the market is betting on, okay? So for example, if the market is betting on a good earnings report, then there is a much bigger part of the option bought in call options, okay? So they betting that the stock will go up. On the other side, if they think it's negative, then obviously they will buy put options. Okay, so as you can see here, this person sees that people are buying more bearish options. But, I mean, it's okay, nothing concerning. If you have a good option play once, doesn't mean that it works every single time. So what I want to say, summarized, is, sometimes this option play is really, really great. So for example, when it was just before the successful test flight after the delay, a lot of people, betted on Virgin Galactic with options that they will do crazy good things, and they did, right? But on the other hand, it's like, okay, you know, we are betting on one thing, but then the company comes out with something totally unexpected, and, you know, basically, you know, we as long-term investors win again, right? So I'm not a big fan of that. Of course, I look into it a little bit from time to time, but it's not like a very, very important part. What else? Projected VG expenses and the 500 million. Why I'm going to be laser focused on the RD&D expenses this quarter. Yes, so that's a big question here, okay? Why they raised $500 million? They have enough for a couple of quarters, so I think there's something big happen. Also on this topic, I made a couple of videos. Do they invest into a new spaceport? Do they invest into the fleet expansion of the manufacturing? You know, many questions, all hopefully answered in the next quarter earnings, okay? I think that's pretty much it, right? There was Mr. Beast and Virgin Galactic, which was fantastic, right? He was, making awareness for the winning competition that you can win the 2 seats. So this was obviously great. Other than that, I think that, you know, Reddit is a great part of a nice information. You should include it in your daily, activities. If you're looking for a stock, there's people having more time than you and putting, a little bit of due diligence. Don't trust everything, okay? Don't trust everything what is written there. Make your own DD, which stands for due diligence, and your own research, and you can be a super important milestone ahead of everyone else on Wall Street.